Hey y'all, it's Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, back for my Week 7 Friday night instant reaction live from my vehicle. Coming back from my big game for Seagoville tonight as the Seagoville Dragons knock off Woodrow Wilson 34-6, a big Dallas ISD matchup in 6-5A Division II. Steven Jackson's squad had a big third quarter, outscored Woodrow 21-0, and pulled away for a 34-6 win. Big win for Seagoville. They are in the driver's seat to win the North Zone there in the district and potentially host a playoff game in the first round. So congratulations to the Seagoville Dragons. 5 big thoughts from tonight's action. First off, down in Houston in District 13, 6A, Klein Collins, a big win over unbeaten Tomball Memorial, 35-14. The Tigers defense steps up, holds a really explosive Tomball Memorial offense in check. That's a great win for Adrian Mitchell's ball club. They're 5-1. I expect them to possibly get back into the state rankings this week. That's a huge win for them. Tomball Memorial was state ranked. Threw up 79 points a couple weeks ago on Klein Collins. Really explosive offense. They were unbeaten coming into the game. Klein Collins shuts them down. So congratulations to the Tigers for a big win. They are now the team to beat there in 13-6A. The top 10 showdown in 5A Division I in the DFW area, pitting Forney, number 10 ranked Forney against number 2 Longview, and a real defensive struggle in this one as the Longview Lobos, John King's ball club, escapes Forney with a 13-7 win with the fourth down goal line stand at the end of the game. Longview, I wasn't at the game, didn't watch it online, but just looking at tweets and kind of looking at the box score, it looked like Longview kind of controlled the game. Just couldn't convert in the red zone. A blocked field goal, a missed field goal. They went for it a couple of times on fourth down. Just couldn't get it. Real credit to Forney's defense. I think both teams walk away from this one feeling good. Longview walks away a real tough district win. They're now, really they should win the 7-5A Division I title. They got a tough game left against McKinney North. They'll be favored in it. Tyler is also going to be a tough game, but I feel like Longview is the team to beat right now, obviously, with the win over Forney. They've got wins over Forney and Lancaster and Lufkin already in their back pockets. So I think Longview walks away feeling good. If you're Forney, you're upset you lose the game, obviously, but this was their first real big test. And I think Jeff Fleener's ball club's got to feel like, hey, we can play with anyone in Texas. We can play with any team in the state. We took Longview to the mat. That's the number 2 team in Texas. We took them down to the wire, 13-7. So I think that for this Forney ball club, this is a real confidence booster for them. And I expect Forney to potentially be sorry about the camera there, I'm holding it up. I expect Forney to be a real contender in Region 2 in 5A Division I. Couple of big games in 3A that caught my eye. First off, let's talk about Gunter. Wow. 64-6 over Bells. Man, I know a lot of people were kind of wondering, why'd you rank Gunter over Canadian? You had Canadian number 1 preseason. We switched it to Gunter number 1 middle of the year. I think it's based on resume. Canadians been very impressive themselves, but Gunter's level of dominance has been just so impressive. It's been shocking, honestly. They destroyed Brock a couple of weeks ago, and then this is a good Bells team. A Bells team that had crept into the state rankings. They were undefeated. Gunter just beats them 64-6. Just ragdolls them, basically. And so I think that just justifies, in my opinion, why we have Gunter ranked above Canadian at the moment. They're both great teams. I think we're headed to unless something crazy happens, we're headed to a Gunter Canadian state semifinal. I know that's a long way away. That's like 8-9 weeks away, I think. I don't see anyone in 3A Division II in Region 1 or Region 2 stopping Gunter or Canadian. I think we're going to get that matchup again, and we're going to be able to decide it on the field, most likely. Right now, though, Gunter gets the edge on the number 1 spot to me because of their dominance and that big win over Brock. Speaking of the Panhandle, Bushland in 3A Division I takes down unbeaten Muleshoe 56-28. Dominant win for the Bushland Falcons. They're knocking. Muleshoe will be out of the state rankings this week, and I expect Bushland to jump back in. Bushland fell out of the rankings after losing to Canadian. Just tells you again how good Canadian is. They have wins over a Class 4A Division I team and then a really good Bushland team. Bushland rolls past Muleshoe 56-28. The Muleshoe have been a great story. They were off to a 5-0 start. Jason Richards Ball Club had done some great things, but I think Bushland makes a statement that aside from Brock and Paradise, they're probably the team to beat there in 3A Division I, Region 1. So big win for the Bushland Falcons, making that statement there in the Texas Panhandle. And speaking of statements, in 3A also, the Hitchcock Bulldogs, wow, 62-32 win over Yoakum. Huge win for Craig Smith's ball club. Hitchcock is just so explosive, so dynamic on both sides of the ball. Their playmakers are unreal. Lloyd Jones had another huge game tonight, and Hitchcock goes on the road and knocks off Yoakum 62-32. That's a really, really good Yoakum team. Their only two losses are to Waco La Vega by 7 and to Cuero by 7. Hitchcock beats them by 30. I'll tell you what, Franklin is the two-time defending state champ. They've got the state's longest winning streak. I believe it's 37, 38 games at the moment. Region 3 is going to be a gauntlet for them, and a lot of that gauntlet's going to come out of District 12, right next to Franklin and District 11, with Columbus and Hitchcock. And we're careening towards a Columbus-Hitchcock showdown here, I believe. It might be next week. And then talk about Game of the Week material in the state, not just Class 3A, but all of Texas. If Columbus and Hitchcock, when they get together, that's going to be a statewide Game of the Week. So huge win for Hitchcock on the road to go to Yoakum and beat a really good Yoakum team by 30 really caught my eye tonight. So congrats to the Hitchcock Bulldogs. That is it for the Week 7 instant recap. I am going to get a couple of hours of sleep and get on a plane and head to Canada for Thanksgiving. I'll be back in Texas next Thursday to get Week 8 going. Y'all have a good night.